Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gamblers Campaign for the F-16 in DCS World, and welcome to Mission 3, Seek and Destroy. So on this mission we've got a very open-ended tasking. We're just being sent to a grid callsign Bishop, which is centred around a small ISIS-held town, and we are just there to hunt down what we can, coordinate with local JTACs that are in the area, and pick out some targets, drop some bombs, see what we can do. All nice and straightforward, so let's jump in and see how it all goes.
Neither. Possibly one of the insurgent groups that fight both them and ISIS.
Weasel 2-1, Wizard. Bogey is turning south. Wizard, Weasel 2-1, roger. Weasel 2-1 is turning to Queen. Weasel 2-1, Wizard. Say intentions. Weasel 2-1 will run guard your Queen. Roger that, Weasel 2-1. Reaper 1-1, gas is dead. No longer on station at Queen. Solo. Push button 5 to report any contacts. No relay to red ground or attack players. Wizard, Weasel 2-1 will go.
Wizard, Weasel 3-1 with you, inbound to Rook.
Roger, Weasel 3-1, say intentions.
Wizard, Weasels will run Scar near Bishop.
Roger, pitch clean. We have eyes on the ball north of Bishop. Reaper 3-1 on station at Bishop. Blackbird 6-3 is working to the west. Locks 2-0-0 through 2-4-0. Blackbird 6-5 is working near King. Lock 180 through 2-0-0. Texaco is on track.
Wizard, Weasel 3-1 copies all. Weasel 3-1 flight, fence in. 1 fenced in. Wizard, Weasel 3-1 approaching Bishop, commencing Scar.
Weasel 3-1, happy hunting.
Thank you, sir.
So we arrive at the target area. I'm just trying to turn my targeting pod around on the centre of it, try and see if I can start spotting anything, when to spot something really quite quickly.
Heads up. Tally Convoy vehicles on the road, approximately 5 miles northeast from Bishop.
Roger, looking.
Tally on vehicles in front and back of the Convoy is now stationed, and 3 cargo trucks in the middle.
Roger, stand by.
So I have real trouble finding what the correct road is here, but nicely the game does give you the option to ask for a talk on, so that's what I do.
2-1, no joy, request talk on.
Convoy is on the road, going north, northeast from Bishop. Just follow it.
And then when I'm looking at the actually correct road, I do manage to spot this little convoy, and so call it in.
Weasel 3-1, contact convoy in the open. Wizard, Weasel 3-1, tally a convoy in the open. 2 technicals with HMGs and 3 military trucks headed towards Bishop from the northeast.
Weasel 3-1, Wizard, roger. Targeting message for Alpha received. You are cleared hot. Weapons free.
Weasel 3-1.
So then it prompts me of whether I want to take out both armed vehicles myself or split it with my wingman, and so definitely go with split it with my wingman here. It just seems to be the most sensible option there. Do as much damage as we can and spread out the ordnance used up between us.
We will first engage the 2 armed vehicles with a MAV each, then clean up with guns.
2.
I'll take the lead vehicle, you take the trailing one. Stand by for fighter to fighter.
2. Ready.
Wedge, shooter, AGM-65, in from the southeast. Wheel, go.
2.
So I do find the target on my targeting pod quite easily, but the Maverick does have a hard time actually getting a lock. It's a tiny little Humvee here, really small, and we are very high up to stay out of manpad range, so I do struggle quite a bit, but Tally does get her weapon off.
Weasel 3-2, rifle.
So I do in the end eventually get a lock here, and then realise that I am pretty much directly overhead, so dip my nose down to give the Maverick a better angle, double check that it's still on target, and then rifle.
Weasel 3-1, rifle.
Weasel 3-2, good hit.
So Tally hits her target, mine is still on the way.
Weasel 3-2, vehicle to stop. Tally enemy troops leaving their vehicle to scatter.
2, engage with guns.
And I get my shack.
Weasel 3-2.
Wizard, Cowboy 2-1, on station 10 nautical miles southeast. Cowboy 2-1, Wizard, Weasel 2-1 is working that area. Push button 5 to stay by. Wizard, Cowboy 2-1, roger.
So I am very new to doing guns ground attacking in the F-16. I think this might be the first time that I've done it. So did have to quickly look up in Chuck's guide exactly how to get that set up, but do get it set up in the end. Diving in, I do have the cursor over where the target is, but the TGP is no longer looking at that, because in guns mode it looks at where it thinks your guns are going to fall, which is quite a good feature. Either way, dive in, and Tally is a little bit ahead of me.
2, guns done. 1 done.
So Tally gets a shack. I don't get convinced by my guns. I'm not used to these, and it seemed like it was predicting the drop to be far more than I was expecting, so I gave a tiny burst.
1, guns.
Then pull up and look out, and it does actually turn out it was working absolutely fine. My shots do land around the target, probably a little bit too far away that I pulled the trigger, but all the same, got rounds in the area. None managed to hit though, because that was a tiny little burst. I should have just been a bit more confident. Coming around for round 2, and once again Tally does get to the target first.
2, guns done.
Altitude.
1 target left.
1, guns.
So this time I do actually get rounds on the target, only a couple, but it does a fair amount of damage, not quite enough for a kill there. My attack was a little bit messed up by having to change the target suddenly midway through, but all good, just need to recover and try again. Once again here I think I'm firing a little bit too much out of range. I'm not sure exactly where the correct range is. I think it's the final quarter, but either way I dive in here, rip off a few rounds.
One, guns.
And this time as I'm recovering I can see a fire.
Good job, Weasels. Return to IP.
So we just recover our altitude to get us nice and safe from man pads, and then check in with Wizard to see what tasking is available.
Wizard, Weasel, 3-1.
Weasel 3-1, go ahead.
Wizard, BDA for targeting message 4 Alpha. 5 vehicles destroyed.
Weasel 3-1, copy you. Message 4 Alpha closed. Proceed.
Ghost, Weasel, 3-1, radio check.
Weasel 3-1, Ghost, reaching 5x5. Send it.
Weasel 3-1 checking in. 2 ship of F-16s, 10 nautical miles south from Bishop. We have 2 GBU-12, 2 GBU-38, guns, vol time 0+30, abort code Rhino, available for tasking.
Weasel 3-1, Ghost, roger. Stand by for an update on Bishop. Weasel flight. I'm a JTAC operating remotely from an air operations center with a single unmanned asset in my stack. Break. We will operate under Type 2 control. We have identified multiple exit targets, including a tank, double trucks, a manned checkpoint, and an ammo dump, all within Bishop. Light and medium AAA reported within the AO, but none have been VIP. The first pass will be a simultaneous attack on an enemy tank. Set strike posture, anyone ready for dive-line?
2, you ready?
Affirm.
Weasel 3-1, ready for 9-line.
Weasel flight. Ghost. 9-line Alpha as follows. 356, offset west. Diner point 0. 1524. Armored tank. 37, Sierra Delta uniform. 847 Diner. 5 Diner 14. No mark, no factor. Crest out.
And this was another brand new skill for me. I didn't know that you could put in coordinates into the F-16 in MGRS format, so I had to go and look this up, and it took me quite a while to get my head around it. I kept making mistakes, kept misentering things, and kept missing the very last step. But in the end I did manage to successfully enter this as steer point 21 with the correct location, and thankfully it did actually enter this time, and so I do get eyes on the area, including the tank that the guy mentioned. And so that took far longer than it should have. I will spare you the 20 odd minutes of me just going back and forth, entering and re-entering while checking various YouTube videos. But in the end, managed to get it, managed to get eyes on target, so all good.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, readback 1524, meet Delta uniform 8847 Niner 5 Niner 14. No factor, ready for remarks.
Weasel flight. Ghost. Request 112 on the south-north run. We do have AAA reporting in the southern portion of the AO, possible impact to route. Nearest collateral concern is lost, approximately 100 meters south.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, 1 GBU-12 south to north run in.
flight. Good readback. Stay with eyes on target Alpha.
Ghost Weasel 3-1, contact tank, grid, Delta Uniform 884, 5-9er 8.
Weasel flight to Ghost. Copy all for target Alpha. Stay with ready for 9 line Bravo.
2, ready.
Ghost Weasel 3-1, ready.
Weasel, Ghost. 9 line Bravo as follows. 354 offset west. United 25. 1574 feet. APC. 37 Sierra Delta Uniform. 879er 605. No mark, no factor, correct.
Ghost Weasel 3-1, readback 1574 feet, Delta Uniform 879er 605. No factor, ready remarks.
Weasel, Ghost. Request 138 on the east-west run. Threat remains the same as 9 line Alpha.
Ghost Weasel 3-1, 1 GBU 38, east to west run in.
Weasel flight, good readback. Stay with eyes on target Bravo.
Tally.
Ghost Weasel 3-1, contact APC grid Delta Uniform 879er 605.
Weasel flight, copy all. That is target Bravo. Call in with directions.
Ghost Roger, both targets seem to be close to civilian houses. Please confirm that this attack has clearance from Red Crown.
Weasel flight, that's affirmative. Commander's initials, Golf Hotel.
Ghost Weasel 3-1, roger. Stand by. Tally, I want you to go first with the 38 and smash that APC. I'll be behind you, and even if the tank starts moving, I'll get it with the paved way. Ready for fighter?
2, ready.
Wedge, shooter, GBU 12 and GBU 38. In from the south for 1, in from the east for 2. Egress south for 1, egress west for 2. On my mark.
2,
Weasels, go.
Ghost Weasel 3-2, IC inbound to target Bravo.
Weasel 3-2, Ghost. Target Bravo.
So I hang around to the south of the area. We're meant to make a coordinated attack, so I just wait around while Tally gets into position, just tracking her on the HSD, and then when she turns in, I then give my go for me moving in.
Weasel 3-2, cleared hot, cleared hot, cleared hot.
Bomb away. 70 seconds to impact.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, IP inbound for target Alpha.
Weasel 3-1, yep. Target Alpha. Weasel 3-2, good effects.
So Tally hits her target. The tank doesn't start moving straight away, so it's going to be nice and easy. I do have a laser guided bomb, so I'm not worried if it does start to move. Do a proper pull up here.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, in from the south. Weasel 3-1, one away.
It takes quite a while for a bomb to fall from 15,000 feet, but sure enough, eventually, shack.
Weasel 3-1, good hit on first target. Weasel play, good hit, target destroyed. I have another one for y'all. Say we're ready for 9 line Charlie.
Weasel 3-1, roger.
2, ready.
So that's those two gone, and now we line up another target.
Weasel 3-1, ready for 9 line.
Weasel, Ghost, 9 line Charlie as follows. 3-5 Niner offset west. Niner point 1, 1,537 feet. Ammo dump. 37 Sierra Delta uniform. H-Niner 4, 3760 tree, 1-2. No mark, no factor, egress.
So now that I know what the procedure is for entering this is a little bit easier, so do manage that.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, read back. 1,537 feet. Delta uniform 8 Niner 4 3760 3 1-2. No factor. Ready for remarks.
Weasel 3-1, Italy back. Request 1 500-pounder on the south-north of us. Surface-to-air threats remain the same. Target area consists of ammo crates and a truck located within a small courtyard of the historic building.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, 1 GBU south to north run in.
Weasel 3-1, the GPU will be perfect. Stay with eyes on target Charlie.
Roger.
Now, DCS is being a little bit weird here with the targeting pod level of detail. The houses are kind of spawning in and out and growing as I'm reaching them, which is seeming to happen at too short a range, but either way, I do spot the truck quite easily because the building next to it hasn't loaded in.
Ghost, Weasel 3-1, tally the ammo dump.
Roger, Weasel. Follow with direction.
Raj. Fighter to fighter, eyeball shooter, GBU-38, in from the south, off to the east.
So I opt to let my wingman take this one since it is a static target and she does have the GPS guided bombs. I've still got a laser guided bomb, so I want to keep that around in case we get any moving targets. By the time Tally is in, the buildings have loaded, so it does make a bit more sense with their description of this ammo dump now actually being an ammo dump and not just a truck.
Weasel 3-2, cleared hot, cleared hot, cleared hot.
Otherwise I just orbit and watch and sit back and enjoy the fireworks.
Ratchet, shit hot. Weasel flight, I have another target for you.
Ghost, roger, stand by.
Joker.
Roger, let's go get a drink. Ghost, Weasels are at the end of bowl time. We'll go get a drink and then we can come back.
Roger that, Weasel 3-1. I have a pair of Eagles coming our way, so y'all are clear to RTB.
Roger that, Ghost. Pleasure working with you.
Anytime, Weasel flight. Signal.
So yeah, quite relieved there because I'm still getting the hang of air-to-air refueling. I was really worried this mission was going to make me do an air-to-air refuel, but thankfully it didn't. It was just teasing me there, and so we can then just RTB.
Ghost, Cowboy 2-1. Cowboy 2-1, send it for Ghost. Ghost 2-1 is a two-ship of F-16Es, 20 nautical miles south from the ship. We have AGT-12, AGT-38, 20 light, and full time of 0+6, 4 code Zulu, and we're available for that. Roger that, Cowboy 2-1. I'm a JTAC operating remotely from the Air Operations Center with a single unmanned asset by stat. Break. We will operate as effective control and our IC is 10 nautical miles south of mission. Weasel flight clean up the target for us, but they were nice and left to scrap. The remaining targets included a roadblock, several trucks, a fuel outpost, and some medium AAA. Your first target will be the AAA. Ghost Cowboy 2-1, roger. Stand by.
Weasel, push, pry, 4. Wizard, Weasel 3-1.
Weasel 3-1, go.
Weasel 3-1 flight is at the end of Vol, finishing our work at Bishop. Show us RTB. Wizard, Weasel 3-1, roger.
Joining.
Weasels descend to Angels 1-5, turn to waypoint 7.
So yep, the RTB was quite quiet. We just turned, landed nicely, and then were told to go into our shelters. Mission completed once we got into our shelters. This campaign does give you little proper debriefs, really nice little feature. Instead of just dealing with the normal end mission screen, there is the option once the mission is over to go into the briefing screen, and it gives you a nice little written write-up of how you did with scores and so on. And on this one, yep, all went absolutely fine. So it was agreeing that the correct decision was for both of us to attack the convoy, and so that was good. We got some more points for managing to coordinate our attack on the APC and the tank so that neither moved before the bombs had actually hit. It was again really fun, really good. And then we just got points for clearing up that last site. It didn't seem to really matter there, but I'm happy with my decision of keeping the GBU-12 for if we needed to hit something that was running. And then, yeah, just lucky it didn't make me do the air-to-air refueling. I do still need practice. I am getting better. I have managed one refueling so far, but definitely need to get more practice, especially if I'm going to be doing it mid-mission. I don't want to waste an entire mission after colliding with a fuel tanker, which happens more often than not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. I am loving this campaign so far. I hope to catch you for a future video. Till then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.